Now, let me take the privilege of inviting the guest for the recruitment panel. For the recruitment panel, we have the moderator, Mr. Suresh, General Manager, Hinduja Foundries. He's having 59 years of experience in different industries, from automobile to ITS, with strong knowledge in IR, personal management. Well recognized in an industry as qualified HR professional and lecturer in educational institute. He is a privileged member and has activist of many HR forums in participation. Thank you, Suresh sir. He is there with us. Along with him, we have another senior eminent person from the industry, Mr. S. Ganguly, Head and Vice President, HR, L&T ECC Limited. We have Mr. Amal Das, Head, HR, Allison Transmission India. And we have Mr. K. Ravi, Vice President, HR, Arvind Remedies. And we also have the young and dynamic Mr. R. Malarvarnan from Intimate Fashion. He heads the HR over there. Taking the stream of training session, I hope the panel is all set. I now hand over the dais to the moderator, Mr. Suresh.
Now look, we're going to ask you some words. You just got to tell me the opposite. Nothing more, nothing less. So I think the word nothing more, nothing less hit him. He became stiff. So I said, okay, let's start. I said up. He said down. I said right. He said left. I said sky. He said earth. I said black. He said white. It went on for about 15 words at full clip. So we were convinced he was good on the basics. So I gave him a tough word. So I said nocturnal. The opposite of that is diurnal. But he said nicturnal. So I said wrong. He said right. I said, you are wrong. He said, I am right. Something was going into my head. I said, will you stop it? He said, can I continue? I said, please stand up. He said, please sit down. He held his chair tight. I said, you are rejected. He said, I'm selected. When do I get my appointment letter? That's how some interviews go. So like this, we have a lot of humor in the interviews. So recruitment is one of the tools of interviews, and to share their ideas, we have a very distinguished panel with us. So without much ado, I'll go straight to the point and hand over the dais to a very distinguished person on my left. Give him a big hand please, Mr. S. Ganguly. A very, very senior person in his own right, Head and Vice President, HR, L&T ECC Limited. Unlike me, who's changed a few companies on the way, he's been in the same company for a long time. 36 years is his experience, out of which close to 29 years in L&T Limited. He's presently working, as I said, as the Vice President and Head HR of L&T Limited, ECC Division, Chennai. Among his many achievements, he was awarded with the RASBIC Leadership Award for Best in Class in Recruiting and Staffing for the year 2005, and he was Chairman of the Export Committee on Human Resource Development and CSR of the Madras Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Mr. Ganguly is also a life member of ISTD, National HRD Network, NIPM, member of American Society of Training and Development, and ISATS. So all this shows his involvement with the profession and how much he has been wedded to the profession since his career. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have about 45 minutes ahead of us before we get into discussions. The plan is that Mr. Ganguly would speak for about 10 minutes. I'm sure you'll have a lot of learnings from that, followed by the next three eminent speakers who will take the dais. So I expect to wrap up the proceedings by about 5:15 and then hand over the proceedings back to the organizers. So, ladies and gentlemen, with these few words, I hand over the proceedings to Mr. Ganguly. Give him a big hand.
Thank you for such a nice introduction. Good evening to all of you. Those of you are awake right now. So when I came to hall and met Dinesh, because he is the person who has been pursuing for quite some time about this particular program. I asked how many participants are there. He said morning it was 450. I said now. He said no, almost 400. So that speaks volume about what is really happening. And I really didn't expect this. Wow, so many people in the hall, and that after a lunch and the tea, quite good tea as well, and the free participation also. I think we must give our kudos to the organizers. They have done a very good job about it. I think. So good evening once more to all of you. The time limit has been set. GD, my ex-colleague, who we have worked with almost 5 years together in LNT, I understand they have set the time 10 minutes and not more than that. So I try to do whatever best possible within the 10 minutes. There will be a small presentation, and then of course we can go for question answer as usual after the session. That's what I understand. That's what Mrs. Suresh told me clearly. Can we have this presentation? Can you take off this? Sorry, who's staring at my face?
This side. It's here.
No, this is easier to see this side. Will be able to bring it here? Okay. This is the glitches of modern technologies. I was in one of the programs in ASTD at US. The same thing happened. I was not the presenter. One of the biggest presenter was there, and the computer failed. And he said, this is the glitches of the program. And not a good beginning. Not a good beginning. So after such a humorous session, what Mr. Suresh has told, I don't think it's good beginning. Let's see.
You can't manage it with that. It's difficult.
Okay, but let's see. I want something.
Just show.
Well, this staring at the people all the time distracts.
That's right.
I never knew that.
Yeah, there it is. It's again here.
That's it. So we are talking about best practices in talent acquisition. Normally these days people don't talk about recruitment. Recruitment is a very important word. So say that talent acquisition. I do not know why they played that, but we are following the same thing. Can you go to the next slide, please? What we will talk about is this flow of presentation. What is our business? Since I represent a company, we have to talk about our business slightly, definitely. What is our recruitment process? And what is the entry level recruitment? What is the lateral recruitment? Because it's a technical session, we have to be slightly technical. What is our business? L&T's business. As you know, L&T, I am representing the ECC division, that's a construction wing, and we do about 60% of the total business of L&T right now. We do about 48,000 crores of business. That was last March, we had ended 48,000 crores. Just go back. You have been hearing that we have done a lot of restructuring. After restructuring, this is the shape of that particular division. We have 4 independent companies with independent boards. So one is building and factories, infrastructure, metallurgical, and power and transmission. I have been concentrating more on power transmission and distribution, because that is the people came there only to invite us, so I will talk about that. Okay. So power transmission and distribution independent company is into 2 parts. One is the domestic and the international. I look after all these as well. Let's go. So there are the concept of business units are there. There are 4 business units in the domestic. So I am not going into the details. Can you go to the next, please? We do a lot of turnkey construction of various kind. I am not again going to the technicalities of it, because this, as you know, as a presenter, this kind of presentation goes in so many places. So certain things will come here which you need not bother about. So let's go to the next one. Okay, quickly. These are like nice photographs. What kind of business we do in text? That one. It's quite technical. Because can you go to the next one? It's very difficult to see from there. We have a large geographical spread, as we are talking about. We throughout India we have been working. We have not done the international part of it. It's only domestic what we are talking about. It is all India. We have right now in this particular company about 4,000 people. In L&T as such we have about 40,000. So about 4,000 people are in this particular IC. Let's go. This is the international. The international has got a lot of spread, mainly concentrated in GCC countries and Africa. And go to the next one. And this is the organogram that we have, that we have got that international SBT is there, and there are 3 parts to it. One is basically UAE and Oman, the other is Qatar, South, and the other is Africa. This is the water inflow cells, just figures only, just for your information what we do. This is the piece. Now we come to the main subject, recruitment process. Actually, I am not able to see that. That's the problem. Huh? No, you are not obstructing it. It's not clear.
Can we give him a mic? You can come over this side.
Yeah. We start in manpower budgeting. Most of you know this is the flow chart. We have the manpower budgeting. We do the sourcing of people. Then the selection takes place. That is the interview. Then of course we have to negotiate an offer, and then the joining and everything. This is the process which takes place now. Can you go to the next one? This is the activity flow chart of the recruitment. How do we really start? No, the talent acquisition comes by the department. We identify the source. It will be internal and external, both the things we do. Internally, to transfer our promotions, then externally, campus, open advertisement, walk-in, reference, service provider, various forces are there where you can recruit people. Then of course, sorting of CVs takes place to this, and it comes to building and screening, shortlisting of CVs. Then you have interview call, shortlisted candidates. There is various selection process. Most of you, I do not know the background of most of you, but as the distinguished people sitting here, they know what we are talking about. There is the final selection, negotiation, offer processing, joining formalities, placement in the department. This is the flow chart. Most of the companies will be giving here and there some differences. At least kind of business that we are in. I am not talking about the IT business. I don't have any idea of any IT business. If you look at the manpower budgeting, how do you do the manpower budgeting? Because without the manpower budget, it cannot really, it is, otherwise it becomes a guesstimate. You don't do guesstimate. You have to really, you are planning the projection depending on what will be our business in the next year. The projection of the business comes from the projection of the business, we get the manpower. From the manpower, some moderation is done. And finally, it gets approved by the IC board. I told 4 ICs are there, totally 9 ICs are there in the LLP, and each has their individual board. The board only, till by March, we know how many people will be recruiting for the following year. Depending on, we have a projection that this particular year will be taking so many people, depending on what kind of business. We are growing at the rate of 25% CAGR, so that is how it comes. Then, comes the talent acquisition. How do you do the talent acquisition? There are 2 levels of recruitment that we do. One, basically at the entry level, and another is the lateral recruitment. Entry level, as you know, it will be through sponsored programs, campus selection. Last year we have been to about 138 campuses to select people. This year, about 2,500 people have joined. Already out of that, 1,500 people have joined the class. That is the campus. Sponsored program is certain time to sponsor certain universities and take people from there. Lateral recruitment, both domestic and international we do, and the process we have already explained, how we go about that. So these are the entry level recruitment code. We have, this is a very unique program, because certain unique things involved we will tell you. One is that, elective Build India Scholarship Program, that is BIS. Last 15 years we are running this program with the 2 of the IITs, that is Madras and Delhi. About 60 people who MTech in construction technology in IIT. This is a unique program, and I think none of the companies are doing right now. The scholarship signifies elective willingness to enhance industry academia. That is the basic principle, and all the 60 people get inducted in the company. Each year. So right now the 14th and the 15th batch is running in both IITs. The 24-month post selection process is very simple. 2 years of work experience, interview conducted with IIT Delhi in coordination with us, and of course the scholarship is paid. It is actually a free post for the students who go for that. And the company offers excellent career prospects to these people. They are the future leaders of our company. And at the entry level, we take PGETs, we take GETs, we take DETs, we take GCTs, ITITs. I told you, 2,500 is the number of, this is what forecast for this. And I am talking only for the ECC division, the construction division of the company. Lateral recruitment, we really look at international report, Indian and overseas job market, manpower consultant. I think any manpower consultant work is the name what they are in our roles. We take people from there. We rehire ex-employees also, provided they have a good track record. We are not against rehiring ex-employees. There's nothing wrong about it if I, of course, employee referrals are there and job fairs. Right now, one is going to be taken place on Saturday and Sunday. Of course, most of you know job portals like Naukri, NMT website where people apply directly. Retired technocrats as consultant. It's not that people, though they retire at the age of 58, but a lot of people do continue with us and we take them as consultants. Walk-in interview is a way of life and we do it practically every 15 days something is going on. And expat, we have a lot of expats working with us because if you know, we have all the international airports which is in India today, including T3 at Delhi and which we did in 3 years time, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Mumbai, these are all made by us. And at a time we had more than 100 expats working with us. It is the hiring of expats is a totally different cup of tea, and I at least my international exposure tells that it was not that easy, but locating these people was quite difficult. You can't believe where we got the people from. Basically, this was the team came from Australia. That is what it is. It is not that we are against expats. We work in overseas countries which I look after. We have people from 16 countries working with us. So it's a different kind of work totally, working in the international field. Lateral recruitment, we are told tie up with institutes of offering user-oriented program. This is another thing we have started now. We found very difficult to get the safety engineers, so we have tied up with a lot of institutes who really take safety as one of the courses and do it. Like some certain courses are not taught in India at all. It is in Sri Lanka, it is in Great Britain, and we have to really go and search for people from there. Pakistan is another place where we have not really recruited directly from there, but we have a lot of Pakistanis working with us. I mean, it is one country that a lot of this kind of AUCUS things. Participate in job fairs in foreign countries, hire foreign nationals as for Filipinos, Egyptians, Pakistanis, cost of certificate, okay, fine, these are details. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Suresh. Respected moderator, my dear fellow panelists, my dear HR professionals, and other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and the sponsors. I had my doubt initially. Recruitment is supposed to be the first process in any industry. Why it has been moved to the last session of the day? I was trying to understand the rationale behind moving this recruitment to the last session. Maybe even recruitment can be made interesting. That could have been the belief of the organizers. And if you could observe, it was made very lively, beginning itself by Mr. Suresh. I have my presentation, it will be shared with all of you. And I don't want to go into each and every slide, just conscious of the time. I just want to focus on to the main subject of the day, Gen Next. The age, the work group age below 35 or 30 years, that is going to rule the world the next decade. So I am just trying to focus on that group. How are we going to recruit? How are we going to retain? there is a big challenge for any HR manager today. I could see three different generations sitting here. Baby boomers, Generation X and Generation Y, we call Gen X and Gen Y. And this is the gathering we could see clearly three generations. I'll go in detail when the slide comes. So to start with, about a couple of weeks back, I was interviewing one engineer who was moving out from my company. I exit interview. I just, as a crucial question, I asked the young engineer who falls into this category, Gen Y. What was the reason for leaving our organization? He said, he listed three major reasons: more salary, career growth, and learning opportunity. Okay. Last week, I had to interview another engineer for the same position. I had the HR round, the final interview. I was sitting with the potential candidate, the finalist. I asked the same question. What is that you are looking for? What is the reason for looking for a job for this position? What is attracting you? He said, probably more salary, career growth, and learning opportunities. This is the paradox. So all the recruiters today face this kind of paradox. Why people are moving? Why people are changing? As a HR manager, for each and every HR manager, recruitment has become a very critical job, very routine job. Every day you have to do some recruitment work because the people who come in the front door, if not we are careful, they walk through the back door. The attrition rate varies from industry to industry, starting from 10% to even 40% and even more in IT industries. Why? As long as there is attrition, recruitment is going to be there. So what is that? What is the need for recruitment? That you can just categorize those ideas under three topics. Next. Requirement. I just want to deal on requirement, replacement and retirement. Considering the rate of growth, economic growth of India and other countries, what is going to be the manpower requirement for the next decade? If you look at the global scenario, I just draw your attention to the surplus and shortage of manpower which is going to be in the next decade, that is 2020. It's a study. If you see, US, there is going to be 17 million manpower shortage. And in India, it's going to be 47 million surplus manpower. This is the forecast or assumption based on the present rate of growth, of birth rate, economic growth. Everything is considered, and it is a study done by our MMA and in collaboration with the government. So, countries like India, Brazil, Egypt, Philippines, Mexico, we have surplus manpower, whereas including China, there is going to be shortage of manpower. This is a very interesting observation or interesting data for all of us. So recruitment is going to be a challenge for all of us. Why people go out? All of us know the reasons. Go to the next slide. We see a kind of evolution over a period of almost starting from industrial revolution. Different methodologies have been followed in recruiting. And today, what technology or methodology is going to be opt or effective for our recruitment? follow the traditional method may not be possible, may not be effective for this generation. So I was just mentioning about the generations. We see 5 generations starting with veterans, baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Y and Gen Z. I am going to focus on 2 generations, that is Gen X and Gen Y. Baby boomers almost age more than 47 to 50, they are already in senior positions, and this category they don't move out easily and the recruitment opportunity may be less there. And Gen X, age between 30 to 45, 46. So this category of people are in middle or senior management in the industries. And Gen Y, less than 30 years. This is the moving crowd. This is the moving population. Very aggressive, very ambitious. They have a lot of plans. Fast growth, fast money, fun. So this is the group we have to target. You have to keep in mind how are we going to recruit and retain. What is their expectation? If you could see Gen X expectations, it even they give a lot of importance to, if you see dress code, they want casual dress code. All of us to note. Salary comes first, then performance related bonus. This was a study done for this target group. It's revealing data. Going to work should be awesome for them. They need to have fun at work, recreation, environment should be very friendly, diversity in workforce, workspace, flexibility with respect to place as well as time, facilities, and safe and secure workspace. There are more important factors they look for in any industry. You can go through the data later. The strings that bind, they have great expectations. When they work in an organization, they look for some value from each and every member, each and every function. They want to work in a team and expect kind of peer, some expectations. Juniors, they have expectations. Client, manager, they need mentor. They give a lot of importance to learning and development. Coming to the web technology, it has become part and parcel of their life. They are on 24/7 connectivity. So I need not go in depth and explain to you their behavioral pattern, their preferences, their lifestyle, because all of us have either a daughter or son going to the college. So you can just imagine that is the level of the interest or lifestyle they have. Even if you just see them at 12 o'clock, they will be texting. So this is what we see. So this is the generation I am speaking about. Tomorrow they are going to be in the job market. They have videos uploading into Facebook, lot of social networks. You can never find anybody in this generation without a Facebook account or any other social network accounts. We may not know, they know more. Communication. So you can just imagine the level of communication. Technology has improved. You have broadband everywhere, in the car, on the street, 3G, on mobile devices, satellites in your pocket. The power in the candidate's hands, the mobile, anytime, 24/7, they are available for interview. Not like before, the traditional method, where we used to see the printout of the CV. Now it is a talking CV. You can just go log on to the page the candidate can speak, his video is there. You can see the level of communication, the personality, you can evaluate. Just rushing to the pages. The web technology has taken the generation wide. So what is that we are going to do as recruiters, HR managers, how we are going to manage the show tomorrow? So let us get prepared today. So to meet the challenges, a lot of web technology is available for us as employers to use to attract and recruit and hire this generation. In US, a study shows that 87% of the employers use social networks, that is social recruiting. But in India, the case is very low. That is not even 10%. So we have a lot of potential, lot of opportunity to use social networking, social recruiting for our requirements. Last slide. So tomorrow, today is already there. If you could see, rateyouremployee.com, rateyouremployer.com. So this could probably be effectively used by both employee and employer tomorrow, maybe next decade. So where before joining our company, the employee has the opportunity to rate and find out what type of company it is, what ethical standards they have. They have any negative record, so he can check, as well as the employer has the opportunity to check about the employee, the background, the reference check online. So generation gaps is the reality. It's going to be more challenging. So we as recruiters, we need to prepare ourselves how we are going to use the technology to overcome this opportunity, to use this opportunity tomorrow. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is immense pleasure to me to be here with you for sharing about recruitment and its process. Even if you are going to recruit any trainee, management trainee relates to HR, the first profile they mention only the manpower recruitment selection. Why? Even any management can invest $1 million of investment towards the growth of organization. If we fail to recruit the right person, that organization will be wasted. That's why we believe that recruitment is the heart. We believe that recruitment is most important, which are role playing in the HR management. That's why our author says, what are the contents I am going to give in the presentation I mentioned? These are the very mandatory minimum requirement of the process involved in the recruitment. In that process, manpower planning, recruitment, interview, selection, induction. What are the challenges we are facing now in Indian companies and strategies? These are all what I am going to share with you. Number one, manpower planning. Manpower planning is playing the vital role in the recruitment process. Unless until we properly plan the manpower, we cannot recruit proper potential or proper talent for management expectation. That's why we are always doing manpower planning. Manpower planning is nothing but we have to recruit the right people for the right place in the right time as per management expectation. Lots of process involved on that. We have to analyze and future manpower forecast we have to do, we have to design accordingly. There are more advantages available in manpower planning. We have to ensure optimum use of available human resources. What are the steps involved in manpower planning? We have to predict first, then design accordingly. JD and JS plays a vital role in manpower planning. Unless until we get the job description and the specification from the concerned department, we cannot do recruitment. This is the most important aspect in the manpower planning. And also we have to prepare the manpower budget. Otherwise, this is not a fulfill of manpower planning. Next. What are the process involved after getting the manpower planning and budget from the management? We have to start to recruit the candidates. There are much difference between the recruitment as well as selection. Recruitment, for example, if you want a medicine for deficiency of a health, we have to select the correct medicine from the shop or the whole of that. Or otherwise, it will be affect our body, side effect will come. Likewise, there is a recruitment is the pool talent available. The selection is, we have to select the exact right people for the available talent. There's a difference, major difference between the recruitment and the selection. And recruitment is the positive aspect. We can store, we can storage, we can make the data banks as we like, as per our expectation. But selection is the negative process. We have to filter and select the right candidate. At that time, we are going to reject lots of things. These are the difference available in recruitment and selection. Then interview. There are 4 processes involved in the interview. Before interview, what we have to do? During the interview, what we have to do? Closing the interview. After closing the interview, 4 phases we have to plan in the interview process. Before the interview, what we have to do? We have to collect the correct potential from the pool of our database. Based upon this, we have to call the people, and filling of application blank is very, very important in the interview. See, even senior people also nowadays, at the time of filling the application blank, just they are mentioning, you please my biodata page number 1. You see the biodata page number 6. Please, friends, you refuse that. Even one CEO of my company at the time of recruitment, he argued, no, I am a very senior person, I can't fill. My MD strongly told, if you such a CEO, we don't want. See, the only document, application plan is a document in feature any constituencies was wrong with that person. Because in appointment letter, last page, last line we mentioned, whatever they are referring your blank, that application blank, there is a final. If anything was wrong at that day, you will be rejected. So application blank, don't flexible show on that. Strictly follow that. We have to follow the application blank to be filled and signed properly by the candidate. Then during the interview, see, before starting the interview panel to be properly planned, and accordingly we have to make the people comfortably. Otherwise, the interview panel will fail to take the correct people for the requirement to achieve the management goals. After closing the interview, what we have to follow? Rejected people or recruiting people. Definitely we have to communicate properly. Why we rejected like this? Selecting people, we can call and issue the offer. This is the closing of interview. After closing of interview, at the time of joining, we have to start with the induction program. So, induction program is very important role in interview process. Anybody coming inside of new company, when we walk across the office, previously we are seeing only the world map, India map, then we have to see where are the plants located. Now we are showing what is potential available in our organization. Now everybody is seeking that what are the potential available in the organization transparently. So before entering the job, compulsory we have to go into induction program, department wise. In the induction program, HR department should be very careful. Before starting the induction program, HR department should play the vital role. We have to give our handbook of induction, how they have to prolong that induction program. See, so many cases we are seeing, we have come across in our experience. See, starting the induction program with the N2 they will go. After finishing the induction program, punctured and came to HR department with their comments. During the induction program, lots of things having. See, that we are called as mentor senior person in any company, you go along with that induction program. During the induction program, these people giving the negative to the new person. So carefully HR person to deal induction program. Otherwise, our name will be spoiled, not only our time, money and the company name also will be spoiled. Induction program is the first step of the training program. So the child who's coming out in the land, how the mother develop the child, the role we have to play in that induction program. That's very, very important, sir, induction program. Next. So what are the challenges available in Indian companies? Nowadays, decreasing number of company employees, finding the right people, retention of employees, competitive compensation and benefit, recruiting new talents, knowledge transfer, problems aligning HR strategies, developing and HR infrastructure, shaping and managing future applicants and so on. See, after recruiting, during the employment times, the very important is going to decide, I want within half an hour result and then issue offer. I got confused. I thought first, okay, I'm going for an option 1, option 2, option 3 like it. Then I thought it will not serve purpose. So, my experience helped me, the psychometric test only will solve the problem. Without psychometric test, please don't issue offer. This is important in the recruitment process. Selection process is psychometric test. So, why last I told the psychometric test helped the lots of HR professionals to achieve the management goals ultimately. So, without whatever I mentioned in that recruitment process, please follow and do the needful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am not going to preach about any recruitment process over here. I am going to share the practices, what we have been practicing back in our factory. Before I commence my presentation, please permit me to speak 2 words in my mother language. அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். என் உயிரினும் மேலான அன்னை தமிழை வணங்கி உங்கள் முன் நிற்பதை நான் பெருமை விசாரிக்கிறேன். Thank you very much. So, I titled my presentation as social re-engineering. My friend Amal clearly stated how the global scenario, where the manpower is lacking, where the surplus manpower. As a HR people, we should appreciate that it's a wealth for us, how we are going to handle this wealth. So far, in the form of HR head or HR managers, how we are discriminating our wealth in this country. That is more important. So I am not going to talk about the recruitment. After recruitment, how we are taking care of our wealth. So what we are practicing in our company, I am going to present over here. On to next slide. Before starting the practices, I would like to introduce about the company. It's Independent Facets situated in Guduvancheri. It is a tripartite joint venture between Victoria's Secret US, Triumph International German and MAS Holding Sri Lanka. It is a 100% UOE. Our main customers are Victoria's Secret. And overall enterprise lakh 90 square feet fully air conditioned facility. We commenced our production in the year 1999. We are operating in 2 shifts. 3,400 employees are in our role, out of which 93% of people are female. And we are producing 7 million cases every year for Victoria's Secret. no need to laugh because this is also premium product. Okay? No discrimination. This is what the HR people are laughing. That's what I told. How we are discriminating our wealth. So we have to change. We have to change our pattern. That's what I am going to talk about today. And secondly, awards and achievements, as rightly pointed by Mr. Suresh. It is a model 5S company ever since we started our business over here. And we are ISO 9000 and 14000 certified company since our inception. And Tamil Nadu government recognized us as the best, safest workplace for women in the year 2006, 2007, 2008, and our journey is going on. And coming back to our business. Yeah, move on. So this is the common challenge we are facing, all the HR people facing in Chennai. Talent acquisition, talent engagement, talent retention. Whether it is an apparel company, whether it is an IT company, or any other automobile company. This is the propeller which is igniting all the HR people to go here and there and steal wealth from the other companies also. This is what it is propelling us. We are also nowhere different from there. But my presentation more focused on the workforce because predominantly 3,400 workforce how we are making, out of which 93% of people are women. So challenges in attraction. If you really look into that, for friends outside from Tamil Nadu, this is our Tamil Nadu state, and we are situated in Kanjipuram near to Chennai. This is the Kanjipuram. I really jealous about my predecessor in the intimate fashion when we started in 1999. That is the only company which was situated in Shengalpet Taluk. Then year after year, there are all the multinationals slowly getting to that. So my predecessor is also gone. I came into the place. Now I am facing the challenges. So the student from college, please note that lot of avenues for you to apply a job over there. So these are the companies I clearly categorized: apparel industry, and our immediate competitors are electronic industry and auto ancillaries also. Over and above, close to $1 billion worth of foreign direct investment. The MOU is signed with Tamil Nadu government for next 3 months. That is the challenge. When you think about that, what is the challenge we are having? So before we start our process, I clearly tell where we are going to play, how we are going to strategize our attraction process. So we did a scanning of the Kanjipuram district because a lot of companies are gone. Basically, it is a massive industrial growth in Kanjipuram district. Primarily agricultural background population. Now the composite of agriculture and industrial workforce, land appreciation resulting in sudden economic growth. But that's what when they are selling the land, they are investing the money into their daughters or sons to acquire higher studies. So our type of operators coming from these local areas become a very stringent nowadays. And locals are key to work. If you really look into the north, especially Chakan or Nasik plant, those areas, even people are selling the land and they are not ready to come for work. They will simply lend the money and they are sitting at home. Whereas in Tamil Nadu, it is a good thing that even the economic growth is there, people are willing to come for work. But definitely, talent crunch in local areas is inevitable. It is phenomenal. As I discussed with one of the SIPCOT high officials, he said currently 33,000 of women employees shortage in this part of the world. That is the latest latest. And but need not to panic. Surplus talent available in Tamil Nadu. We have the data. We have the data with us. And especially women, I told you, we are engaging the women. High shortage of qualitative women in the local area, but lot of women available in rural Tamil Nadu, but the problem is culturally, the operating level, women migrating to the city is the challenge for us. Even if we are migrating, housing and transport was the key issue. This is the current scenario of Kanjipuram district. Move on, Praveen. If you really look into that, from 10 km radius, what are the companies are situated? 20 km radius, 40 km radius, and Kanjipuram, Chennai. Distance wise and segment wise, what are the companies who are the real competitor to attract the people from the local area? That is more important. Because in this field, I am going to play for my game. Yeah, move on. If you really look into that, my experience in independent fashions, 8 people will come for recruitment, 4 people are selected, but finally 2 people will be undergo training, but only 1 person is transferred to the main line, the production floor. Then if you are assuming, just calculate it, 3,400 people, how many people I have to interview, how many people I have to train, and how many people. So the iceberg underneath, it is inevitable. It is not, it is invisible, but very difficult to understand for the other people. But as a company, the 1% to retain in our company is a challenge for us. So recruitment is not only recruiting the people, how we are going to retain them. That is the challenge we have. As I told you, you need not panic about anything. Our study clearly revealed that. I have taken the data from 2008 to 2019. How many people are enrolled in schools, especially girls. If you really look into that, every year after completing plus 2, 60% of people are going for higher studies, 30 people are directly coming for recruitment, and 10 people are simply sitting at home and watching comfortably all the 44 Tamil channels. Even after 6 months, 5% drop out from the higher studies, and 5% boring with their TV serials and everything, they are coming out. For between 0 to 6 months, we will have 30% to 40% of people every year coming to the job market as far as our requirement is concerned. So in this 30%, how much we are going to acquire? If you really look into that, our thing is, our attrition is at the moment it's a monthly 4%. So annually it is 48% of 3,400. I have to recruit 1,000 people from the crowd. If you really look, it is very, very hard to recruit those people from Kanchipuram. So we are sourcing people from rural Tamil Nadu through the government agencies. So our approach is, first is retaining the local talent, and second is resource people from the rural Tamil Nadu, and third is effectively administrating our dormitory, wherein the girls are very, very difficult to migrate them from the rural area to here, but we are taking care of them. Last 3.5 years, we are running 5 dormitories with 1,500 girls from the rural Tamil Nadu. That itself is the greatest award for us, because the rural family members, they are the first time employees in the locals, they are staying with us. And fourth one is employment of differently abled people. At the moment, I have 1% of my workforce is differently able. Within 6 months' time, we will enhance to 10% of our workforce must be differently able people. That's the thing. My young team is clearly focusing on that. We will definitely achieve that. And finally, we are talking about total employee involvement. We went one step ahead. We are family involvement in our operations also. So we are keeping more access to the employee families than to the employees. That kind of approach we are taking, which is giving a lot of bonuses to us. And second thing is, we are recruited people, all the difficulties, that how we are going to arrange the people in our company. That's the thing. Because I told you, first time industrial workers. Their parents are either agricultural background or the construction background. Those kind of people only we are bringing to our organization. Because that is the pool. So first we asked our company, my team members, who are our competitors? It is a Bannariyaman, or it is Nokia, or it is Triumph, or any other apparel company, or any new company. The exit interview clearly revealed that they are not our competitors. Our competitors are our own dissatisfied, hurted employees are our competitors. We never consider other companies as a competitor. Our own, how we are taking care of ourselves. So what I did, how we are going to,
and Vice President HR at ECC. So it's a privilege to have you with us today. So next we have Mr. Amal Das, Head HR, Alice Transmission. Ravi, Mr. Ravi, Vice President HR, Arvind Remedies. Mr. Malan Mandan, Head HR, Intimate Fashion. And then definitely our own Suresh sir from Vijay Countries. Thanks sir, thanks for making the session lively and helping me out in terms of session. Very kind. I thank the panel once again on behalf of Worldtech for being able to make it up and keep the session live open to us. It was really a privilege to have you all together with us.